Good afternoon, all of you. This is the weekly current affairs session for environment, science and technology. We will briefly see that what current affairs did we see in news from November 9 to November 16 regarding these subjects. So let's quickly look at the index first. First of all, what we will be seeing is recent missions of ISRO. Now, if I tell you whatever major missions of ISRO, no major mission of ISRO has come up in the past 1 week, but some testings have taken place for the cryogenic stage, the capacity of LVM-2 rocket or the GSLV Mk3 that was increased by 450 kilograms. So that is a huge leap for our country. Secondly, we'll see 3D printing has been in news a lot. 3D printing has been in news regarding one of the space startups also. They created a rocket engine entirely based on 3D printing, so we'll be seeing that. Also, 3D printing was there because in eastern Ladakh, 3D printed accommodations have been planned by the government of India. So let's see what 3D printing is. The second topic would be 3D printing. With regards to 3D printing, this year itself, National Strategy on Additive Manufacturing or National Strategy on 3D Printing came up by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So we'll quickly look at the features of that policy also, National Strategy also, and then we'll cover Conference of Parties 27 in detail. What is it about? Kya ho raha hai wahan pe? Whatever have been the updates till yet. Most of the updates will be covered this week. The rest of the updates would be covered in the subsequent weeks. So don't worry about missing out on anything. All right. Hello everyone. So let's begin with the lecture. Just to remind you, this initiative is running in parallel with our website, which is rajiesacademy.com. On our website, every day we are running this Seize the Mains daily answer writing initiative to teach you the art of answer writing, entirely free of cost initiative. We'll discuss a topic here. With regards to that topic, a question has been asked. This question can be seen on our website also. And at 9 PM today on this YouTube channel, I will be taking the discussion on this topic to tell you how to approach this question, how to write a good answer to get better marks in mains. So let's read out this question before starting the session. The question for day 116 says, describe additive manufacturing and its applications. That is basically asking you, describe 3D printing and its applications. Then discuss the features of National Strategy on Additive Manufacturing or discuss the features of National Strategy on 3D printing that has been brought up by the government this year itself, and send this answer to us in 250 words on our website in the main answer writing section. The link to our website is available in the description below, so check that out after this video. Also, if you are accessing this video from a browser or from a device where you can open PDF side by side, on our Telegram channel Raj Malhotra IAS, this entire presentation in the form of PDF has been uploaded. So download it side by side if need be, or download it at the end of the session so that you don't miss out on anything. You don't have to take notes here. Just scribble on a rough copy or on a rough page if you want better understanding. Otherwise, all the contents would be provided. So yes, post standoff 3D printed accommodation for troops in eastern Ladakh. 3D printed accommodation provide कर रहे हैं लद्दाख में government of India. Then we saw this news. ISRO facilitates the hot testing of an engine developed by an Indian space startup. तो ISRO has moved towards privatization. ISRO private sector को बढ़ावा देना चाह रही है. So Indian space startup has come up and they have given a rocket to ISRO to test it. They have asked for some space for their own rocket testing. And that rocket, one of the engines of that rocket, the second stage of that rocket was prepared by using 3D printing technology. So this was in news. Again, I want you to look at this news. Indian space tech company successfully test fires world's first single piece 3D rocket engine. This is exactly the rocket that we were talking about in the previous slide. So ISRO has given its facilities to this space startup to test its 3D rocket engine. This is the third news regarding 3D printing that we are taking here. ISRO successfully tested cryogenic engine that will power India's most powerful rocket. Now you know GSLV Mk3, that is known as Bahubali, or it is, you know, the most powerful rocket that ISRO has till now. It has been renamed as LVM2. Now the carrying capacity of any rocket, it should be high. अगर हमने higher orbits में कोई भी satellite launch करनी है, और if you are planning to launch your Indian space station in space, then your rocket must be efficient enough to carry heavier payloads into space. So what we are doing is, we are not developing a new rocket, new heavy rocket हम लोग नहीं ला रहे हैं as you know, as a replacement of GSLV Mk3. What we are doing is, जो upper cryogenic stage है, GSLV Mk3 में कितनी stages हैं आपके पास? Your GSLV Mk3, which is now known as LVM, has 3 stages. So these are the stages of the rocket: 1, 2, 3. Stages means fuel plus engine. So when first stages fuel and engine get used, this stage separates. In the first stage we have solid fuel, in the second stage we have liquid fuel, and in the third stage we have cryogenic fuel, or this is also known as cryogenic upper stage, because this is the last stage for this LVM rocket. Now what ISRO has tested is, ISRO has increased the capacity. ISRO ने efficiency of this stage, efficiency of third stage has been increased, and what it has resulted in, इस स्टेज की, थर्ड स्टेज की एफिशिएंसी बढ़ाने से जो GSLV Mk3 आपका रॉकेट है या जो LVM2 आपका रॉकेट है, उसकी जो कैरिंग कैपेसिटी है, दैट हैज़ बीन इंक्रीज्ड बाय 450 kilogram. So in the low Earth orbit it has been increased by 450 kg. That is a huge leap, बहुत ही बड़ी advancement है. And what they did was that in this cryogenic stage, some parts of the turbines were made using 3D printing technology. So 3D printing has been in news for the past 7 to 10 days. We've seen this coming up in news a lot of times. So 3D printing becomes important not only for our prelims but also mains and interview. So let's look at what it is. But first, let's see what is the private sector that has come up with ISRO to launch its own rocket. This entire news is about the CE-20 rocket that ISRO has tested. जो थर्ड स्टेज क्रायोजेनिक स्टेज इम्प्रूव कर दी गई है. सो दैट इंजन इज नोन एज CE-20. CE stands for cryogenic, and the 3D printed turbine exhaust casings have been inducted into this third stage, and the fuel used were liquid oxygen was used and liquid hydrogen was used, because cryogenic stage है तो obviously कुछ gases होंगी जो कि liquid form में या बहुत ही कम temperature पर use की गई होंगी. So that is your liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen. एज ऑफ नाउ ये जो छोटी टेस्टिंग्स होती हैं ये इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होती आपके एग्जाम के लिए, बट उसमें टेक्नोलॉजी क्या यूज़ हो रही है, इससे क्या ब्रेक थ्रूज होंगे, इससे क्या चेंजेस होंगे, दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर एग्जाम. सो नाउ दिस वन इज कवर्ड. लेट्स लुक एट व्हाट अग्निकूल. अग्निकूल इज द स्टार्टअप. अग्निकूल एक प्राइवेट कंपनी है, एक प्राइवेट स्टार्टअप है. कुछ कुछ स्टूडेंट्स का जो कि IIT मद्रास में थे, उन्होंने अपना अग्निलेट इंजन जो कि उनके रॉकेट की सेकेंड स्टेज में आना था, दे हैव बिल्ट अ रॉकेट विद 2 स्टेज रॉकेट उन्होंने बिल्ड किया है सब ऑर्बिटल प्लेटफॉर्म के लिए. तो उसकी सेकेंड स्टेज में दे हैव यूज दिस अग्निलेट इंजन. अग्निलेट इंजन क्या है, वो पूरा का पूरा 3D प्रिंटिंग टेक्नोलॉजी पर डेवलप्ड है. सो दैट इज अ ह्यूज लीप, बिकॉज दे से दैट इट इज फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन दिस एंटायर वर्ल्ड. पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है कि पूरा इंजन 3D प्रिंटिंग से डेवलप किया गया है, कोई भी पार्ट्स आपस में जोड़े नहीं गए हैं बाद में. 3D प्रिंटिंग से पूरा का पूरा रॉकेट डेवलप कर दिया गया है. सो दैट इज अबाउट इट. So Agnilet is claimed to be world's first single piece 3D printed rocket engine fully designed and manufactured in India. The latest test has validated the startup's design and manufacturing methodology, for which it has received a patent. They have received a patent also for this engine, and it is a significant milestone for 3D printing in India. Now youngsters would be motivated to see the space sector growing, especially to see this 3D printing industry growing, to see the manufacturing part growing. So we can prevent brain drain. Also a lot of jobs would be created with this leap. Now we need to look at what is 3D printing. I understand that many of you are not from science background, and 3D printing पढ़ने में और चीज़ है और समझने में एक बहुत ही different चीज़ है. So जैसे आपकी 2D प्रिंटिंग होती है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ़ यू हैव अ प्रिंटर, व्हाट यू कैन डू इज़ गेट अ पेज प्रिंटेड आउट ऑफ अ प्रिंटर. अगर आप कुछ भी कमांड देते हैं जो आपके कंप्यूटर से अटैच है कोई प्रिंटर, तो वो पेज आपका पेज पर टेक्स्ट प्रिंट होकर आपको बाहर मिल जाता है, और व्हाट यू गेट इज़ टेक्स्ट और पिक्चर यू गेट इन प्रिंटेड फॉर्मेट ऑन अ शीट, ऑन अ पेपर. ये आपको प्रिंटेड फॉर्मेट में मिल जाता है. नाउ देर आर सम मशीन्स जिनको हम प्रिंटर्स बोलते हैं बट 3D प्रिंटर्स बोलते हैं. वो मशीन्स क्या काम करती हैं? वो आपको सिर्फ एक पेज पर प्रिंट आउट नहीं देती. दे डोंट गिव यू अ प्रिंट आउट जस्ट ऑन अ पेज इन 2D फॉर्मेट. दिस इज लेंथ एंड ब्रेड्थ ऑफ अ पेज, सो दिस इज 2 डायमेंशनल, लेंथ और ब्रेड्थ. जब हाइट भी ऐड हो जाएगी, जब 3 डायमेंशंस ऐड हो जाएंगी, तो आप चीज़ को पकड़ सकते हैं. देन यू कैन क्रिएट 3 डायमेंशनल ऑब्जेक्ट्स लाइक दीज. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज अ वास. इसके लिए जो ये पीछे आपकी मशीन लगी है, यू जस्ट पुट सम फैब्रिक और प्लास्टिक एज इनपुट टू द मशीन. जैसे आपकी 2D प्रिंटर्स में इंक जाती है, इसमें कोई ना कोई फैब्रिक जाता है या प्लास्टिक जाता है. दैट प्लास्टिक इज इंसर्टेड, वॉट एवर प्लास्टिक और वॉट एवर मटीरियल यू आर इंसर्टिंग इन द मशीन, उसी मटीरियल का आपको ऑब्जेक्ट बाहर तैयार मिलता है. सो दिस एंटायर वास और दिस एंटायर पॉट हैज़ बीन क्रिएटेड यूजिंग द मूवमेंट्स ऑफ दिस मशीन. इसी मशीन की मदद से हुआ है. इसको किसी बड़े ऑब्जेक्ट से काट कर नहीं बनाया गया है. नो बिगर ऑब्जेक्ट हैज़ बीन यूज्ड टू मेक दिस ऑब्जेक्ट. तो बहुत ही जो कटिंग में या जो ब्रेकिंग में बहुत ज़्यादा आपका वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट जनरेट होता था, दैट हैज़ बीन अवॉइडेड बिकॉज इट हैज़ बीन बिल्ट फ्रॉम बेस लेयर बाय लेयर विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस मशीन. दैट इज़ योर 3D प्रिंटिंग. अगर आपके इस वास की जगह कोई इंजन आ जाता है या कोई भी ऐसी मशीन आ जाती है जिसको आप डायरेक्टली यूज़ करना चाहते हैं, that would be 3D printing of that engine. It will become more clear by the use of these pictures. For example, these many shapes can be created. ये दिखता एक printer की तरह है, but basically it is creating, it is like a magical machine, it is like a magical printer. अगर आप उसके पास आप जो computer linked है, whatever computer you have linked with this, if you have given the डायरेक्टेड सॉफ्टवेयर टू क्रिएट अ शेप लाइक दिस, अगर आपने इस शेप का उसको सॉफ्टवेयर उसको कमांड दिया है, तो वो ये शेप आपको क्रिएट करके इन 3D फॉर्मेट अ रियल ऑब्जेक्ट वुड बी प्रोड्यूस्ड एंड यू कैन यूज इट इन योर डेली लाइफ. द बेनिफिट इज दैट दीज ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर स्ट्रॉन्गर, दे आर मोर ड्यूरेबल. आप जो भी है इनपुट में आप मटेरियल चूज कर सकते हैं, आपने कौन से मटेरियल का ये ऑब्जेक्ट बनाना है, वेदर इट इज़ प्लास्टिक, इट इज़ सम एलॉय, इट इज़ स्टील, आयरन, एनीथिंग कैन बी चूजन, and depending upon that a printer can be created and any object can be created using this method. Now recently biotechnology में 3D printing का use किया गया है to make organs और organ systems which replicate human organs. जैसे कि ears हो गए, nose हो गए या heart की shape हो गई, तो वैसे भी ऐसे organs भी duplicate organs using 3D printing can be developed. UPSC has already asked a question on 3D printing in mains a few years back. Again a question is expected क्योंकि काफ़ी ज़्यादा यूसेज में है और इस पर एक नेशनल पॉलिसी भी है. So yes, I hope the basic idea is clear to you. What do you understand by 3D printing? It is basically creating real life objects by the help of one machine. अगर आपको कोई normal object create करना है, what you do is, for example, if you have to create a plastic bottle, let's say we have a plastic glass here. This is a plastic glass here. So if you have to create it, आपको या तो कोई solid object चाहिए जिसको आप तोड़ के इस glass को बनाएं. Either you need a solid object which you break down and create this glass. In the breaking process, a lot of waste will be generated. तो वो जो waste है वो किसी काम का नहीं होगा. So 3D printing में ऐसा नहीं होता है. 3D printing में there is a lot less waste that is generated. So that is environment friendly also. And in the long run, when 3D printers become accessible to us, जब उतने expensive नहीं रहेंगे, जब हर एक इंसान के घर में 3D printers होंगे, then this will become much cheaper and yes, environment friendly तो है ही. What the other process is that you heat it up, heat the plastic that has been used in this glass to a very high temperature, उसको molten form में लाइए and तब उसको shape दीजिए. That is also a very cumbersome process. So 3D printing helps you this way. This is the entire explanation for 3D printing. This has been provided in the PPT for your Seize the Mains answer. 3D printing, just remember, it is also known as additive manufacturing. It refers to the construction of a three-dimensional object from a digital 3D model by adding materials layer by layer. अगर आपने ग्लास बनाना है, so the machine will have some direction कि नीचे base चाहिए, so plastic is needed at the base also. So more material would be put at the base. Then you need a hollow glass here. तो उसके बाद जो subsequent layers होंगी उसमें जो प्लास्टिक है वो सिर्फ outer layers में होगा, वो अंदर नहीं होगा. That is the direction you have given to that 3D printer with the help of softwares or digital 3D model. So it uses computer aided designing to make prototypes or working models of objects by laying down successive layers of material such as plastic, resin, thermoplastic, metal fiber or ceramic. With the help of software, the model to be printed is first developed by the computer, which then gives instructions to the 3D printer. And just look at it using this technology. Now we are developing accommodation for troops in Eastern Ladakh कि हम सीधा 3D प्रिंटिंग की हेल्प से जो ट्रूप्स के लिए हमें अकोमोडेशन चाहिए बहुत ही स्नोई एरियाज़ में, बहुत ही हाई ऑल्टीट्यूड एरियाज़ में, वो हम 3D प्रिंटिंग से ही डेवलप कर लें सो दैट इट इज़ कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव ऑल्सो एंड इट इज़ ड्यूरेबल ऑल्सो इन दैट काइंड ऑफ वेदर. Also, ISRO has been using 3D printing for various parts of its for various parts of its engines, and Agnikul has come up with the first engine that is entirely developed on 3D printing, and they've also got a patent for this. So yes, all these three can be used as your examples if you see the question in mains. Yes, now this is the news that is important. ये थोड़ी पुरानी news है. It is news from 24th Feb of 2022. But yes, what you need to see is that this Ministry of Electronics and IT has released National Strategy on Additive Manufacturing. This was covered by PIB. Additive Manufacturing और 3D Printing पर उन्होंने एक National Strategy release की है इसी साल in February. And according to the National Strategy, what they aim for, National Strategy में क्या करेंगे? वो चाहेंगे कि 3D Printing जैसी टेक्नोलॉजी इंडिया में बहुत अच्छे से ग्रो करे. They would want this latest technology to grow well in India. So the ministry, they aimed for generating awareness amongst people like you and us about 3D printing कि ये कैसे होती है, इसके क्या benefits हैं. Then also there are other things that have been recognized that 5% of global additive manufacturing market share has been aspired. The strategy aspired की जो aspires की जो 5% share है global market का in 3D printing, that should be coming from India, which is around $1 billion, almost $1 billion to the GDP by 2025. So government काफ़ी तेज़ी से 3D printing के लिए बढ़ावा दे रही है. This will create ecosystem for creation of almost 100 new startups. When your startups are created, startups come up with a lot of innovation. Innovation से आते हैं उनमें अगर investors confidence उसके साथ साथ बढ़ता है, they come up with a lot of innovation. And just like Agnikul has developed this 3D printed engine, so 3D printing technology में हमें और भी breakthroughs देखने को मिलेंगे. 10 AM additive manufacturing sectors and 1 lakh new skilled manpower. Now why people leave India for search of better life, better jobs, high paying jobs? If skilled manpower in the field of additive manufacturing, they are getting jobs in India as well near their hometowns, so they will not leave India and it will boost the economy of our country. Development of 500 AM products, additive manufacturing products में at least 500 products India में ही develop करने हैं and 50 Indian AM technologies on material, machine, process and software. So this is the broad strategy. जो aims हैं, जो features हैं इस policy के strategy के, these are the broad features of this strategy. Again, a very breakthrough technology that we see in the form of 3D printing, and the government is fully supporting it. All the departments of the government, they are fully supporting it, and they are, keeping walking shoulder to shoulder with all the other countries and the latest technology, latest upcomings in 3D printing. Now after this, we need to start Conference of Parties 27. I promised you last week that we'll be covering this in detail, but before that, let me know if there are any doubts with regards to whatever updates have been discussed till now, or with regards to 3D printing also. Let me know in the chat section. Mohammed, because this Vikram S has been delayed, so we'll be covering this next week. Once when the launch happens, we'll be covering it that time. That Skyroot first private test engine Vikram S, that is different, and this 3D printed engine by Agnikul, that is different. So don't get confused between both of them. All right, Anahat, you're doing great in Seize the Mains. Your answers are really good. I'm encourage all of you to join the Seize the Mains initiative and keep sending us answers on the website, because this will help you tremendously in your preparation. No doubts, then we can move further. If there are no doubts with regards to 3D printing and any other topics we have discussed till now. All right. So let's move to Conference of Parties 27, COP27, which is being held in Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt. What is COP27? Conference of Parties होता क्या है? What is it and हर साल क्यों होता है? Why are we gathering all the countries? Why are they gathering together on an annual basis? What do they do? हर साल हमारे जो UPSC सिलेबस में COP कुछ ना कुछ ऐड हो जाता है. We discuss something with regards to UNFCCC. Every year we see so many questions from here, whatever updates happen at COPs. So why do we discuss it? Let's see. First of all, let's read about what is this COP27, where is it being conducted. So Conference of Parties, COP का मतलब होता है Conference of Parties. Who are these parties? These are the parties which have signed or ratified United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. ये जो क्लाइमेट चेंज के अगेंस्ट कन्वेंशन है, क्लाइमेट चेंज को फाइट करने के लिए एक डॉक्यूमेंट है, एक कन्वेंशन है, उसको इन पार्टीज ने रैटिफाई एंड साइन किया है. तो वो जितनी भी कंट्रीज ने साइन किया है, दे कम ऑन एन एनुअल बेसिस, हर साल इकट्ठे होते हैं दुनिया के किसी ना किसी कोने में, एंड दे कंडक्ट मीटिंग्स देयर. All the countries meet each other, they tell how hard it is becoming for them to fight global warming, to fight climate change. They donate money, they ask for money, they launch new initiatives to successfully fight climate change. So in short, it is about COP27. It is held annually since 1992. The conference of 2022 is being held from 6 to 18th November. इन्हीं dates में होता है हर साल. It is held always in November only, to get the nations of the world towards a serious dialogue towards climate change. The last conference, COP26, वो UK में हुआ था in Glasgow, with innumerable pledges by developed and developing countries. की pledges बहुत सारी ली थी, so that is a sarcastic line here, that a lot of pledges were taken but not much action was done. So let's read about United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change first. It is part of your environment syllabus, static portion के अंदर आता है. So what is UNFCCC? As I told you, it is a document or it is a convention which was signed in 1992. एक conference हुई थी 1992 में. Conferences started happening in 1972 itself. ह्यूमन एंड एनवायरनमेंट पे जो कॉन्फ्रेंस पहली बार हुई थी, दैट स्टार्टेड इन 1972. आफ्टर दैट वी गॉट एजेंडा 21, वी गॉट UNFCCC. जितने भी क्लाइमेट चेंज के अगेंस्ट एक्शंस हुए हैं या उसके फेवर में एक्शंस हुए हैं, दे हैव स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ 1972. Our Wildlife Protection Act, that also came up in 1972 only, mostly after this conference. So that is an interlinkage you can create. When the conference was held in 1992 again, 20 साल के बाद जब दोबारा हुई, it was happening हर decade के बाद होती थी. So when it happened again in 1992, this UNFCCC came up, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It came up and it was signed by the parties in 1992 itself. So what it is, एक agreement है, agreement between 197 countries of United Nations. United Nations के जितने भी members हैं, सबका एक agreement है. What does this agreement say? That we will stabilize greenhouse gas concentrations at a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic, that is human induced interference with the climate system. So climate change जो होता है naturally भी होता है. We've seen extinction of so many species. If someone of you is from geology background, climate change is a natural process. Global warming is a natural process. बट हम उसकी जो रफ्तार है, द स्पीड, द पेस ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज, वी आर इंक्रीजिंग इट बिकॉज ऑफ आर एक्टिविटीज, बिकॉज ऑफ द रिलीज ऑफ टॉक्सिक गैसेज, बिकॉज ऑफ द रिलीज ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड अदर ग्रीन हाउस गैसेज इन द एनवायरमेंट एंड द ओवर यूज ऑफ फॉसिल फ्यूल्स. क्लाइमेट चेंज की जो स्पीड है वो बढ़ रही है ह्यूमन इंड्यूस्ड एक्शंस की वजह से और एंथ्रोपोजेनिक इंटरफेरेंस की वजह से. So, उसको रोकने के लिए दिस अग्रीमेंट वाज साइंड एंड अंडर दिस अग्रीमेंट ऑल कंट्रीज प्लेज, दे प्लेज ऑन अ सर्टेन बेसिस कि हम अपने जो एमिशंस हैं और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एमिशंस वी विल डिक्रीज बाय अ सर्टेन अमाउंट सो दैट वी कैन कंट्रीब्यूट टू स्लोइंग डाउन द पेस ऑफ climate change of the world. This summit was also known as Earth Summit, very important for your exam. Cover all the Earth Summits or the Rio Summits. It has been ratified. Signing is acknowledging, ratifying means it becomes binding for your country. You have to agree to whatever you have signed on. So it has been ratified by 197 countries and it entered into force in 1994. तो इन सब पार्टीज की, इन सब कंट्रीज की मीटिंग को हम लोग कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ पार्टीज बोलते हैं. So it is a series of UN climate change conferences which have been running since 1995, क्योंकि 1994 में आपका UNFCCC साइन हो गया था. So COPs have been taking place annually since 1995. What is the goal? Goal is to review progress made by members of this agreement. UNFCCC के agreement के जो members हैं उन्होंने क्या progress की है in the previous years. They meet, they come together every year and they check and review what all progress has been done. For example, if India is using solar power now instead of thermal power plants, so that is a progress that we show there on an annual basis to limit climate change. Also, ये जो COP, it is the supreme decision making body of UNFCCC. It includes representatives of all the countries. From our country, our Minister of Environment is the representative, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So it includes representatives of all the countries that are signatories or parties to, जिन्होंने भी ये agreement sign किए, whosoever are parties to UNFCCC. It assesses the effects of measures introduced by the parties to limit climate change against the overall goal of UNFCCC. Agreement का जो एक target है, it seeks to limit global warming well below 2 degree Celsius. जब आपका industrial revolution हुआ था, उसके बाद जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग है बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गई बिकॉज यूज़ ऑफ फॉसिल फ्यूल्स इंक्रीज आफ्टर द सब्सिक्वेंट इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशंस. सो इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन के पहले जो टेम्परेचर था, वट एवर ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर वॉज देयर, उस टेम्परेचर से 2 डिग्री सेल्सियस ऊपर नहीं जाना है. दैट इज द टारगेट. दैट इज अ कंपल्सरी टारगेट एंड इफ पॉसिबल नॉट अबव 1.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस. 2 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक तो कंट्रोल करना ही है, दिस इज मैंडेटरी. But if possible, if all the countries perform very well, then we'll try to have it just above 1.5 degrees Celsius of pre-industrial levels. So, nationally determined contributions. This is a very important part here. जितनी भी countries ने UNFCCC agreement sign किया है, all the countries who have signed the UNFCCC agreement, they all come together and voluntarily they have to set their targets. For example, if India is a member of COP, India has to give in written that what India will take efforts, what efforts will India make as a country to control these greenhouse gas emissions and to control this global warming, and how much will it contribute to this target to control global warming below 2 degrees Celsius. इसके लिए वो क्या कंट्रीब्यूट करेंगे. सो दैट इज योर नेशनली डिटर्मिन्ड कंट्रीब्यूशन, दैट इज डिटर्मिन्ड बाय द नेशन इटसेल्फ. US will not tell India, China will not tell India, nobody will tell India. India will give its own targets to control the global warming or to control climate change and carbon emissions. So once you have ratified UNFCCC, then it is known as intended nationally. Earlier these were known as intended nationally determined contributions. Once you've ratified the document, then it is known as nationally determined contributions. So now recently at this COP27, our Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, he has given this comprehensive list. This was covered by the Hindu yesterday and other newspapers also. So a comprehensive list has been given that what India intends to do. हमारा जो टारगेट था दैट हैज़ बीन रिवाइज्ड. सो अर्लियर Now our commitment is that we will reduce the emissions intensity of GDP. GDP हम लोग कैसे क्रिएट कर रहे हैं? GDP की क्रिएशन से, GDP की ग्रोथ से जो एमिशंस जनरेट हो रहे हैं, एनवायरमेंट को जो नुकसान हो रहा है, विल डिक्रीज दैट बाय 45% by 2030. So emissions will be reduced by 45% by 2030. And what is the baseline? The baseline is 2005. कि हम 2005 में जितने emissions रिलीज कर रहे थे to produce a certain amount of GDP, उसको हम लोग 45% कम कर देंगे. We'll decrease that by 45% by 2030. So that is our pledge. There are other updated milestones also that India needs to achieve. A detailed report has not come, but yes, some new initiatives have come up. Then the country will also target about 50% of cumulative electric power installed capacity from non-fossil fuel based resources by 2030. As of now, almost 60% जो हमारी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है कंट्री की, वो थर्मल बेस्ड पावर प्लांट से आ रही है और फॉसिल फ्यूल बेस्ड पावर प्लांट से आ रही है. नाउ व्हाट वी आर टारगेटिंग बाय 2030 कि जो 50% हम लोग इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट कर रहे हैं इंडिया में, और वट एवर वी आर यूजिंग दैट विल बी फ्रॉम नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल बेस्ड एनर्जी रिसोर्सेज. सो नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल बेस्ड एनर्जी रिसोर्सेज में क्या कवर होगा? व्हाट वुड कॉन्स्टिट्यूट योर नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल बेस्ड एनर्जी रिसोर्सेज? योर न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी इज कवर्ड, सोलर, हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, विंड पावर, एंड अपकमिंग बायोमास इज ऑल्सो कवर्ड देयर. सो इन द न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी राइट नाउ हमारा जो न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी है दैट इज 3%. अगर हम लोग 100 यूनिट एनर्जी या 100 यूनिट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट कर रहे हैं, तो 100 में से सिर्फ 3 यूनिट्स हमारी न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी से प्रोड्यूस हो रही है. न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी इज मोस्टली नॉन पोल्यूटिंग. इट इज नॉन कन्वेंशनल बट इट इज नॉन पोल्यूटिंग. ऑल्सो वी हैव अ 3-stage न्यूक्लियर पावर प्रोग्राम फॉर इंडिया. न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी से, न्यूक्लियर फ्यूल से एनर्जी जनरेट करने के लिए वी हैव अ 3-stage मिशन दैट वाज डेवलप्ड बाय डॉक्टर होमी जहांगीर भाभा. बट एज ऑफ नाउ ओनली 3% ऑफ आवर टोटल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज कमिंग फ्रॉम न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी. सो नाउ व्हाट द टारगेट हैज गिवन, दे हैव सेड कि 50% हम लोग नॉन थर्मल या नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल से लाएंगे, एंड न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी वुड बी इंक्रीज्ड बाय 3 times इन द नेक्स्ट डेकेड. अगले 10 साल में जो न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी का प्रपोर्शन है दैट वुड गो अप 3 times of its actual of its status or percentage right now. Also we will achieve carbon neutral status by 2070. Carbon neutral status का मतलब क्या होता है? That whatever carbon emissions we are creating, चाहे हमारे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन से या आपके इंडस्ट्री से या व्हीकल से, whatever carbon is being generated, that will either be absorbed by planting more trees or through carbon sequestration, या फिर उसको हम लोग also the next one is I think there was a delay here. Yes, so let me repeat it, that nuclear energy will go 3 times from 3% of total capacity of which is right now, it will be increased by 3 times. Then we have to achieve this carbon neutral status or the net zero status. What is your net zero status now? Yes. So it is a state in which a country's emissions are compensated by absorption and removal of greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. It is also referred to as carbon neutrality. It is done through natural processes. Natural processes में आपके आगे आप trees और लगा सकते हैं. So whatever emissions are being generated, they are being absorbed by the trees. Or what you can do is capture and storage, which includes your carbon sequestration. What are the other targets here? That the other target is in 2021 we launched a national hydrogen mission. Now hydrogen is known as the fuel of future. Hydrogen बहुत ही clean fuel है, but the problem is hydrogen gaseous form में होता है, उसको contain करके रखना बहुत मुश्किल है. So what we are developing is we are developing high tech technology for hydrogen fuel of future, and a national mission has been launched. Funding दी गई है, national hydrogen mission has been launched in 2021. So according to that mission, अब जो हमने COP27 में अपनी जो we have updated our targets and we've said that we will become an international hub for the production of green hydrogen in the नेक्स्ट कमिंग ईयर्स हम लोग ऐसा कुछ ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजीज अपने देश में डेवलप करेंगे दैट वी बिकम अ international hub for production of green hydrogen. So that is definitely going to decrease the amount of carbon emissions and create a lot of jobs. Then ethanol blending of petrol. Right now we have 10%. Now the target of increasing this ethanol blending is 20% by 2025. So ethanol कम emissions generate करता है, though it can be a little harmful to your vehicles or engines over the long run because it causes the parts to become brittle. So that is a side effect. तो अभी तक उतना implement नहीं किया गया, plus ethanol production in the country was not very good. But now ethanol can be produced using eatables also, जो कि आपका wheat stock या rice stock है जो कि waste जा रहा है, उससे भी ethanol produce किया जा सकता है. We have established ethanol production factory recently in Panipat. The government has established that. So yes, because ethanol production will increase in the country, so now we can aim for higher percentage of ethanol blending in petrol, which will decrease the amount of emissions, and efficiency of fuel will increase. Thirdly, our dependence on international crude oil, जो कि prices में बहुत inflation रहती है, as we saw in the case of Russia-Ukraine war. So that will also be something that India will be able to deal with. Then you have maximizing the use of electric vehicles as a target, and this last point here is that there has to be increased climate finance to be provided by developed countries. कि जो developed countries हैं, your USA, Canada, these countries have to give more climate finance. Now what is climate finance? This is the headline covered by Times of India. COP27 is all over the place. News में सिर्फ COP27 आ रहा है, environment की news में. So with regards to climate finance, India has said that we need more funding. These are our targets, but हमें ज़्यादा funding की ज़रूरत है. So it has been said that there is a developed world and there is a developing world. Then you have least developed countries. So very poor countries. So they say कि जहाँ पर industrialization पहले हुआ था जिन countries में, these countries are the actual ones responsible for the global warming that is happening right now. So the countries which received industrial revolution earlier, उन्होंने इतना ज़्यादा carbon emissions generate किया है, greenhouse gases generate किया, and they continue to do so. For example, USA and all other developed countries, they are amongst the highest emitters of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. So they said that they release so much greenhouse gases that now climate change has become a reality. And who is suffering because of climate change? The tropical countries या जो southern countries हैं जो कि relatively poor है या जो कि अभी developing state में है, and India also comes in that. So these countries, they gave a pledge that we will give $100 billion on an annual basis to help these countries like India or other, India is a developing country or other poor countries, ताकि ये लोग ऐसे projects install कर पाएं जिसमें ज़्यादा fossil fuel use ना हो या greenhouse gas emissions ना हो. So we will help these countries by giving this money on an annual basis so that they can be used for better practices and to fight with climate change. For example, if a drought is occurring, अब ड्राउट अगर एक देश में हो रहा है तो वो ज़रूरी नहीं है कि उसी देश में वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग प्रैक्टिसेस अच्छी नहीं है, इस वजह से ड्राउट आ रहा है, या उस देश में ही सिर्फ पोल्यूशन हो रहा है इस वजह से ड्राउट आ रहा है. नो, ड्राउट इज कमिंग एज अ कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज विच वॉज कॉज्ड बाय कंट्रीज लाइक USA, Germany, which are developed countries now. So it becomes the responsibility of developed countries to help these poor nations which are facing drought. So to help these countries, this $100 billion had to be given. As of now, this target has not been reached. The target was 2020. 2020 तक इस target को reach करना है, but 2020 तक वो target reach नहीं हुआ. Now some countries say that this target has been reached. OECD and other organizations, they have contrary data. इस पे जो statistics है या जो data है, that is also very contrary. So India has now called upon them that yes, that India will launch all these steps, but what about the funding? Who will give us the funding? Because we have to generate employment, we need to have more industries, more manufacturing. But if infrastructure or funding is not provided by these countries, how will we move towards that? And this funding, mostly to India, it is given in the form of loans. Only very poor countries get it in the form of grants. India में जो funding आती है वो loan की form में आती है. We have to return that in the long run. So this funding has been challenged at climate financing concerns of developing countries. आप ये बहुत सारे articles आजकल news में देख रहे होंगे with regards to climate financing. Again this has been covered. ये जो $100 billion का जो target है, this was again important for your prelims. This was set up at COP15 in Denmark, which was held in 2009. Then again this headline was covered that India to seek clarity on $100 billion climate financing at COP27. So this has been in question. But yes, again this that don't preach if you don't practice. Basic groups tells developed countries. What are basic groups? Basic group क्या है? Basic has countries starting from BASIC. For example, you have Brazil from BA, then you have S, which calls for South Africa, which stands for South Africa. From I you have India, and from C you have China. Now this is the news of like 2-3 hours back from today. They said that if you cannot commit to your pledges of giving us the right kind of funding or right kind of infrastructure development, then don't preach what you don't practice, because without the contribution of developed countries, fighting climate change is impossible, and we developing countries will face the brunt. We've already seen that there is delay in monsoon happening. Monsoon का जो time है वो कम हो गया है. Farming practices have to be changed. इंडिया में जो floods आ रहे हैं, tropical cyclones आ रहे हैं, जो droughts आ रहे हैं, उनकी frequency ज़्यादा हो गई है. So that is all because of climate change. That is the climate change that we did not cause in the first place. So again, things going on. But yes, a few days back there was something positive also. Germany and G7 countries, they have launched this new Global Shield Climate Finance at COP27. Global Shield Climate Finance launch किया गया है by Germany and G7 countries. Now what this Global Shield is about? It aims to give insurance to very poor countries. If there are farmers in very poor countries जिनका जो crop है वो drought की वजह से पूरा खराब हो गया है, so that crop will be insured, and because of the money that that person will get out of insurance, they will be able to buy new seeds. तो बहुत ही छोटी amount दी गई है, but again it is a positive step. Just remember Global Shield Climate Finance, what it is, क्योंकि UPSC and state civil services, they are in a habit to ask you such terms time and again. Whatever happens at COP, that should be covered in detail by you every year. So under this, Germany will provide $172 million to a Global Shield insurance initiative. So this is basically इंश्योरेंस इनिशिएटिव है. इट इज़ नॉट अ ग्रांट या लोन में से कुछ भी नहीं है. दिस इज जस्ट एन इंश्योरेंस कि अगर क्रॉप्स फेल हो गए, कहीं पर फ्लड आ गया, तो उस कंट्री में पुअर लोगों को कुछ पैसे दे दिए जाएंगे टू हेल्प लो इनकम एंड वल्नरेबल कंट्रीज ओनली. इंडिया इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस बिकॉज वी आर अ डेवलपिंग कंट्री. वी आर नॉट अ पुअर कंट्री और अ लो इनकम एंड वल्नरेबल कंट्री टू रीबाउंड इन द इवेंट ऑफ क्लाइमेट कैलामिटीज. It aims to strengthen social protection schemes, whatever policies, कोई भी policy अगर उस government की चल रही होगी किसी भी देश में जो कि climate insurance provide करती है, so it will strengthen those social protection schemes and climate risk insurance. So when an extreme weather like flooding strikes, communities can access aid quickly and recover. So there are other countries like Canada, Ireland and Denmark who have pledged a further more contribution to the initiative. So again, it was officially launched by G7 countries and the V20 group. Again, this is important. V stands for vulnerable here. ये कुछ most vulnerable 20 countries थी world की, most vulnerable to climate change. So they constituted the V20 group. As of now, there are 58 countries in the V20 group which are क्लाइमेट वल्नरेबल, जो कि क्लाइमेट चेंज से सबसे ज़्यादा वल्नरेबल हैं. योर आइलैंड नेशंस, अगर सी लेवल्स इंक्रीज होते हैं ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की वजह से, मेल्ट डाउन ऑफ आइस शीट्स की वजह से, सो योर आइलैंड नेशंस विल ड्राउन कम्प्लीटली. उनका जो अस्तित्व है वही खत्म हो जाएगा. नो कंट्री विल एग्जिस्ट देयर. सो दे फॉर्म अ पार्ट ऑफ दीज कंट्रीज एंड देयर आर अदर पुअर कंट्रीज ऑल्सो, स्पेशली इन अफ्रीका, which form a part of this V20 group. Just remember, these are not 20 countries anymore. Now there are 58 climate vulnerable nations. Then in the end you have another initiative that has been launched. Drought struck nations join hands to combat water woes. So as of now जो भी आपका drought fight करने के लिए initiatives है, you have, what do we have in the United Nations family to fight droughts. You have UNCCD, United Nations Convention to combat desertification. So as of now, only UNCCD fights against desertification. Regular droughts के against ये fight नहीं करता. This is the convention to fight desertification. Arid and semi-arid lands में जिन lands को भी बचाया जा सकता है उनके लिए fight करता है. Now at COP27, some countries जो कि बहुत ज़्यादा affected होती हैं droughts से on an annual basis, they have come together. They have joined hands to combat their water problems. What are these countries? So they've launched this IDRA or International Drought Resilience Alliance. This has been launched. So it has been led by Spain and Senegal. Spain is in Europe, Senegal is a country in Africa, African continent. It has led 30 countries and 20 organizations to launch the International Drought Resilience Alliance at the COP27, which is being held in Sharm el Sheikh. So it will help each other to be better prepared for future droughts. Now what they will do, they will move from emergency response, drought आने के बाद जो response होता है, they will move from that to building long term resilience. So that is their mission. Public assistance will be given, political impetus would be given, ज़्यादा importance दी जाएगी droughts को fight करने के लिए, and together they can help fight droughts better in a more efficient way. So yes, this was about today's lecture. Again, COP27 has been taken in detail. बहुत सारे initiatives हैं याद करने के लिए. Download the PDF from the Telegram group. That's all about the day. UNCCD is there. That is what is covered here, and what all countries are there. Everything has been covered in the PDF on our Telegram channel. Refer to that PDF, download it, and if there are any doubts with regards to this lecture, just let me know right now. Alright then, if there are no doubts, then we'll call it a day, and I'll see you at 9 PM in Seize the Mains initiative. Thank you for joining. Stay tuned to our channel, and all the best for your preparation.